Yeah, so I think this was a team that I think at the beginning of the season, we had a lot of people going into new roles and different roles that they haven't been in before, which is some graduations we had last year. And so I think, it's taken us this season, which, it should, to really, I think, define those roles and have people become really comfortable in what those roles are going to be, because they were so vastly different, I think, for some of our players than they have been in the past. I think some folks are being relied on more for scoring and leadership than they're used to. So, during the course of the season, I think we've really grown in that area of folks understanding, what role they're playing on court, how they're being depended upon for leadership, for scoring, what that means for them, how that changes what they do on court. So I think we've grown tremendously since the beginning of the season until now from that perspective. I think everybody's much more comfortable with what the expectations are of them and of their roles. So I think that's the place where I think I've seen the biggest growth for us this year.
Great. And then there's a little bit of the storyline coming into this year, at least for me, preparing for broadcast for the team. Last year's national championship game, a very close loss, obviously. For both of you, this question, was it a motivating factor this year to try and get back into this and just push through this year and a chance to avenge that loss? Did you wipe it away? Was it a completely new slate? And I'll let both of you guys talk about that, since I know, Morgan, you were on the team last year, and you were part of that loss and just that very close emotional feeling, but another chance this year to try and get back at that. Just both take me through that process.
Absolutely. I think last year definitely gave us a fire, and we've always had that desire to want to win, but it really showed us how much we want that and how capable we are of it. And I think this year we came in with a lot of motivation and knowing exactly where we wanted to be, and knowing that last year we were a little short of that. So we knew what the expectation was, where we needed to be. And I think we did come in with a new team, a new feeling in the air. And so we're doing our best to get there with the team that we've got right now.
Yeah, I think for me as a coach, I personally have to wipe it clean because, they always talk about, you never step in the same river twice. And I think it's that way with a coach as well. This team, this season, everything is new and different. And so, and I also think one of the things our team works a lot on is letting go of things. And I think, we can't possibly be as good as we want to be if we're holding on to what happened last season. And so, I think we've worked really hard to obviously understand the things that we did that got us there, the things that prevented us maybe from getting to exactly where we wanted to be. And then how do we incorporate those into what we do this season without holding on to, the loss or, the heartbreak of what that was. And so do people remember it? Absolutely. It's, something that is certainly not pleasant to think about, and I think can be a motivating factor as long as you don't hold on to it and it doesn't become something that holds you back from getting to where you want to go this next year. So I think with this new team, obviously we have a lot of personnel changes. That is definitely the goal, but I think it's a completely different path to getting there.
Talk about some of these seniors. There's a lot of returning faces from last year's squad. A lot of the starters are still the same starters this year. Talk about the cohesion of this group and just how much that senior leadership really helps out the squad makes it finish the season.
Want to hop into that one?
Yeah, you say everything better than I say it, though. Okay, so we're talking about our senior leadership?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Our two seniors this year are Ranley Clayton and Ruby Albert. And Ruby just really brings a nice calming factor to the team. She's really mature and very steady in who she is. And I think she grounds the rest of us a lot whenever we can get kind of taken away in ourselves. She does a really good job of bringing us back, keeping us steady, and she knows the game of basketball really well, and she's a great resource for all of us. And then Ranley, obviously, is a great leader on court, and she has really developed this year and come into herself and stepped up to help the team as a whole.
Yeah, and I think, too, we do have quite a few starters. I think actually the only new person in the lineup for our starting lineup is Morgan. And so when you have that, experience, especially with a couple of them, actually 2 of our starters have been playing together since they were in juniors. And so that's even longer that they have some chemistry. So I think the chemistry of knowing each other is certainly there. Again, I go back to the first answer of, while there is experience in playing together the past couple of years, folks are in such new roles, even if they were starters and played a lot of minutes last year, that it still takes some time, I think, to get cohesive in that space. So yes, absolutely. the starting lineup and some of our other veteran players have been here and have been in the game and have, they know what to do and know how to play. But I think it all becomes something new when we're throwing different roles in and different expectations in and different things for folks to do. So we certainly rely heavily on a lot of that veteran leadership coming from Ali Ibanez, coming from Ranley Clayton, particularly those two, I think, when they're out on the court are who the team looks the most to for calming, steadiness, being able to get us out of spots that we get into. So, it's been a lot of fun to see them grow.
Jumping into this weekend, semifinal matchup, first one is going to be UTA. You played them a few times this season. What does this particular team present in terms of the challenges that you're both going to have to overcome here if you want to get a win and move on to the championship round?
Obviously, they know what our strengths and our weaknesses are, so I'm sure that they're going to come out in a hard press on us. And so that's definitely something that we're going to have to deal with and that I think we've been working on a lot and that we're ready to handle. And then their biggest threat on their team is Zoe, and she is a really good shooter. She's a really good ball handler. She moves very well. So we've talked a lot about her and about how to handle and move our defense. So if we can execute that like we've practiced, I think we'll be good.
Yeah, they're a pretty balanced team. While they do have Zoe, who obviously is their best scorer, national team caliber player, we certainly have to do a good job on her, ensuring that she's not getting open at the three, and then off of that, getting cuts to the basket. She's a bigger player, but they're relatively balanced, and so you can't sort of disregard everybody else on the court. And so I think our defense will obviously be geared towards taking her away, but then how do we assess what else is going on the court and ensuring that their other players aren't getting in good positions to score. Elodie Tessier, national team level type players. So we've got to make sure we neutralize her. Grace Wimbula, really great national team level player. So we'll certainly have our work cut out for us there on the defensive end. And I think, like Morgan said, we know that, one of our weaknesses throughout the year has been being able to break a press. We've been working really hard on it. And I think, we're in a position where we're ready to handle what's thrown at us. And I think picking up the pace of our game a little bit will help neutralize some of the stuff that other teams are able to do. So, I'm looking forward to it. Every game we've played against them this year has been close. I don't think there's been anything more than a 7 to 10 point game when we've played them this year. And that makes it really exciting because you don't know how the game is going to turn out. So when you get in those close battles, especially in a semifinal game, they can go either way. And I think, if we do the things that we need to do and that are strengths and that help us be successful, we're going to give ourselves a really good chance to be successful this weekend.
And finally, my last question before I let you guys go is, what does Illinois have to do as a team from a mental standpoint to have success this weekend? Does it start, pregame routines? Does it start off the court, back at the hotel rooms, just getting your mind right? What does this squad need to do to just be in the right mindset to get through a tournament like the NIWBT?
I think the main thing that we have to do this weekend is just foot on the gas, all speed ahead, focusing on what we've got coming at us and what's in front of us, letting mistakes go, letting frustrations go, letting previous games that we've played against the teams that we're playing go, and just focusing on what we've got to do right now and the next step and the next play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure I can say it too much better. Just having that next play mentality, and that starts actually, it started before we even came here. You talk about this is a brand new season. Your record is 0-0 at this point in time, and so it gives you an opportunity to wipe the slate clean, which is it's great. We get to start over, and so I think that started a few weeks ago with us in training, and then I think once we're here, it's exactly what Morgan said. Just foot on the gas. We focus on us. We focus on our strengths, the things that we do really, really well. We're able to let go of mistakes because basketball's a game of mistakes, and so we let those go, and we're able to move forward and understand that that's not what's going to define us. It's what we do next that defines us, and then what we do next that's going to define us. And so as long as we keep thinking about what's next, how do I pick up my teammate, how do I pick myself up, then I think we're going to give ourselves the best chance to be successful this weekend.
Great. Morgan, Coach, thank you so much for your time. Really
yeah.
appreciate it.
Thank
you.
you.